every pandemic buddy. What is this? We've got 2 face cams on the screen, and we've got a slideshow in the background. It looks like a podcast, doesn't it? That's because it is. It's a podcast.
Yep.
My very first podcast. I've been wanting to do this for so many years, and I just never had an audience for it, and I never had a co-host. But see, I've got a co-host now. He's either over there or he's over there. That's SeanTheGoneOne.
That's me.
He's my co-producer. He's also the co-host for all these podcasts. So you should recognize me. I'm Culveyhouse. If you don't know who I am, well, hi. Yeah, that's my name. Yeah, Culveyhouse. I've been on YouTube for about 10 years, and Sean's been on YouTube for about 4, maybe.
Technically about 6, but we don't talk about the dark ages that was the first 2 years.
Oh, I see what you did there. Dark ages, night.
That's a reference very few people would understand.
He used to be Oath Knight a long time ago. Before there were kings, before there were countries, there was Oath Knight.
This is true. I like the Kings and Countries thing. Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
No.
I'm not even sure.
No, it's actually a reference to the movie called Troll.
I've never seen that. I'm scared to ever see
that. We'll have to watch it sometime. Well, anyway, so time to introduce SeanTheGoneOne.
What's up? How's it going? Get used to this face, because apparently I'm going to be in all of these. I've been doing YouTube for like 6 years. We don't talk about the 2 in the dark ages, the first 2, but I've been doing YouTube for a while, and now I'm here.
You do have
literally the most
and you have a channel now.
Story. Yeah, I do. It's SeanTheGoneOne. I also have a may or may not have a... Nah, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about that.
Well, you might or might not have a something to do with music on YouTube and on Instagram, right?
May or may not.
Yeah,
is the
and we just may or may not tease that a little bit later.
We may or may not tease that a little bit later. I'll have to talk to my lawyers.
Yeah. So here's a quick intro to these podcasts. We decided to do them because this is a great time to get into podcasts. I'm expanding into a total variety show on my channel, and their podcasts are still very popular. I don't like to call them podcasts. I call these videocasts because we're casting our face. You know,
right?
Like it or not, there's our faces.
You better like it.
Yeah, and the first one is going to be awkward. You know, that's the first time we've ever done this, and we only did one dress rehearsal, so you're going to have to forgive us. So anyway, the topic for this first podcast, we figured we'd make it content creation, all about how to be a content creator and how hard it is to make a living doing it. Well, not actually making a living, but like making your way across social media. And we were both doing this alone. We were content creators alone. You might have heard me say that Sean is my co-producer, and indeed that's true. We are now co-producing videos together on my channel. So we wanted to just mention how we formed our team first. Before we formed the team, Sean was on YouTube for however many years, and then I know that I was on YouTube for 10. It was a lonely experience. You know, like I had to. When you're doing everything alone, you have to stay self-motivated. You have to come up with your own ideas. But then we came to work together. So, do you remember how it happened?
Well, basically it was like when you were working on the fitness primer video, that first fitness video. You had been talking about it, how it's going to happen for like a year and a half, but there was a bunch of you being busy with work and all.
Right.
And basically, I offered to edit that video, and later on, very shortly thereafter, offered to edit any videos because of aforementioned being busy with work. And Yeah, well, apparently that offer was taken up, and so here we are.
Yeah, that and when you offered to edit my videos, I didn't really even think twice about it. I just kind of brushed it off like, oh yeah, because other people had offered that various points in the past, like even as recently as earlier in the year. But then the timing was right, and then the creativity was right because you had all the chops on your channel, and I saw your editing. I know you're editing well, so it was just a match. So we started doing that, and we've produced 14 videos now. This is number 14, and
it's actually pretty impressive given what we'll go into in a few with the whole production pipeline thing. But it's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, we are going to mention it.
Stay tuned, folks.
Right. So actually, that is something we're going to talk about in a moment. Now, what about the growth struggle on YouTube? I know there's a real problem growing. A lot of people want to grow their channel, but YouTube changes every year. Sometimes it changes every season. And I don't just mean the features. I mean like the audience, the gaming industry itself, if you're doing gaming videos. Yeah, like trends. Like, there's a mukbang trend, and then there's a
there's the mannequin challenge, the Tide Pod challenge.
Oh yeah, Tide Pod challenge. All those stupid things that come and go. So how do you make your way on a moving platform like that, where it's moving on all three axes? So what did you? So you grew a little bit, and you actually started picking up traction after a bit, right? How did you? Did you do anything special, or?
I was honestly like, I'm only at 345 subs, which is a very, it's kind of, it's like at a point where you can tell your friends it's kind of impressive, because 340 people have clicked that subscribe button, but obviously there's not a ton of growth considering I've been doing this channel specifically for like 3 years.
Right.
But it's all happened. Like, I've just been producing content that generally I do enjoy producing, and I think that energy is there, and people see that and they're like, hey, this guy likes this guy clearly has fun making these videos, and he's clearly passionate about whatever the fuck he's talking about. I might as well hit that subscribe button, or at the very least hit the like button.
Right.
At the very least, hit the like button.
And for me, it was kind of accidental. I never thought I was going to grow. And then before, during my Fallout New Vegas stuff, I grew to like 5,000, I think, and then to 10,000. Yeah. And then I was producing pre-Skyrim content, like analyzing the leaked footage and all, and that catapulted me all the way up to like 35,000. 35,000 subs. That was pretty, and that was purely not what I expected at all.
Right.
So, and then now I'm up to 55, but it's really just what you said. It's just doing what I like to produce, which is mostly gaming. But now I like doing this, and we are growing. It's just like we're not, we're trying to find the sweet spot and go viral with some of our content, but it just takes a while.
It does.
Yeah, because YouTube changes constantly. We have to change constantly.
Right, and there's lots and lots of trial and error, And to anybody, like, I just want to say this real quick. To anybody who is producing content and not seeing any growth, either your content sucks or either your content sucks, or more likely you're just getting screwed over by the algorithm.
Yeah, and we don't mean that in a demeaning way, because it's good to analyze yourself. Analyze your own creativity, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And you could even say like, well, it's a draft, it's a practice, or like dry run of things to come, right? Like the first draft of anything is always sucky, like no matter who does it or what.
It's like, in my experience, your first song's gonna suck.
Oh yeah,
Your second song's gonna be better. Your first video is probably going to suck. I would love to find the first video I ever put on YouTube. It's almost certainly going to suck. It did suck. But the second video is a little bit better. That third video is even better than the second and the first. Maybe the fourth video, the production goes down a little bit. But the fifth video, you're going to come back stronger.
Yeah.
You know, it's ebbs and flows in figuring out what works. You know.
And speaking of figuring out what works, sometimes it's counterintuitive. Like, what is it about stupid videos? Like extremely, almost brainless videos where no effort was put into them. Those are the things that tend to go viral. And then the more time you seem to spend on a video, the less popular it gets, because and it might just be an audience mismatch, or it might be a effort mismatch. What do you think it is, or what the hell is that?
I think a lot of those really stupid videos, as horrible as it is to say, I think a lot of those really stupid videos are really easy to digest because they're really stupid and simple, and people are naturally just gravitate towards things that they can easily understand.
Right.
There's this one video, I forget how many views it has, of a dude calling like his ex-wife a bitch, grabbing a wasp nest and then eating it. And it has like millions of views. I'll like pull it up right here in the background. You won't hear it, but I'll like pull it up right here. And he's like got his own theme music while he's eating it. He's going dun dun dun.
Yeah, so that is exceedingly like no production value. I mean,
it's kind of funny, but it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid. Like,
yeah, and it's like, you know, you don't dare duplicate that because you won't get the views, and you'll probably die from anaphylaxis.
And you'll look like an idiot is the other thing. You'll look like an absolute moron.
So what we're doing, what I think we're doing, seems to be catering towards that, though. Like, we're experimenting with a bunch of different stuff. You know, some of it is really easy, some of it's medium difficulty, some is like high stress, like high stress projects. Yeah. One of which we might tease coming up at the end of the episode. But and it's like accidentally we will find what works and what goes semi-viral, and then we just do
as long as we keep that system that we've got going in place. Which, by the way, let me I'll tell you what, we got a gnarly system, dude.
Oh yeah, it's called the production pipeline. All right, so why don't we talk a little bit about our production pipeline that we use for the co-produced videos. And it's not really easy, but we pulled it off. So, and obviously we pulled it off because we've been doing it for 14 videos now, right? So, you want to...
this one.
Yeah. Do you want to go over it from the beginning? Now, remember, from the beginning, it actually involves a website called Trello. We actually use we use lean methodology to actually produce videos. So we control everything in Trello. And then from there, what do?
Well, I try to use Trello. Sometimes I don't wind up using Trello. I'm working on that. But basically, we like organize tasks in Trello. It's really cool. Maybe I'll put up a screenshot of what we do. Who knows? On the background here. But basically, we organize the tasks for each video in Trello.
Yeah, and we actually, and how do we pick them? We actually use Jamboard.
Right.
Yeah, so we have a whole brainstorming session, or we call it like a sprint, a brainstorming sprint each week, where we prioritize, we kind of narrow down, and we pick which video is next. And then we have our
and this one happens to be picked to be next.
Yeah, and we have a whole method for doing that. And it's a proprietary, top secret method that we'll never reveal.
Well, it's actually just thinking about stuff and then narrowing it down. But basically, we come up with ideas. We put it on the Jamboard. If we both like the idea, we consider it for a future video. And let me tell you, we got a ton that are going to happen very, very soon. Some of them we're just not quite ready for. We're not quite ready for yet, but they're coming, and they're going to be awesome. We decide Go ahead.
Yeah, and then once we decide, then that's when it goes into Trello. And then we actually start pre-production, which is just, it could be anything. It could be a dress rehearsal. It could be, buying a game, downloading it, and experimenting with it.
Right. Configuration. Just a lot of, configuration, figuring out what to do. And then we go into production where, we actually make the video. So, like, for example, for the vlog where Culvey went around and was filming the footage for the vlog, all the B-roll, the sequences where it was like, hey, how's it going, folks? My name is Culvey, and this is a vlog. So we go through that, and then
so there is filming
step?
and other media, other assets that we might need. Sometimes it's ripping videos off the internet, my videos. And then we start the editing phase, which is almost all you, with me kind of being a backseat Nazi, being a screen share Nazi.
No screen for you. Yeah, basically any videos that he has, because most of the videos that you see are recorded by him, he uploads to a cloud called MediaFire. I download the videos that he gives me, and I edit it on Premiere Pro.
Right. Premiere Pro is the big one. It's actually our prize software. It's the workhorse of the whole pipeline. So we've got a production, like cinematic quality editor at our disposal, and we both have a copy of it, a slightly different plan, but it's the same exact software.
Yeah, like I've got a student, he's got a business, but
then what do you do? And then after that, you
edit all the videos, and then we go over it really briefly. Usually it takes like 30 minutes where we just go over everything that I did. If all looks well, we render a very small draft that winds up goes up on YouTube privately. None of you will ever see any of these drafts. There's usually a couple slight fixes that we got to make, and then once those fixes are made, you guys see, or we produce the full resolution video that you all wind up seeing, like this right now. There's probably 1 or 2 drafts that occurred of this very video that you're seeing now before you're seeing the full produced video.
Yeah, and then the final render gets up, then we dress it with title, description, SEO stuff. Sean also makes the thumbnails in Photoshop, so we actually have the whole Adobe Cloud. Yeah, the Adobe Cloud it's not just Premiere Pro, it's everything. And then we schedule it. We usually premiere these. Premieres are fun because you get an audience and you have a live chat room and everything. Yeah. And
speaking of all these premieres and videos, what was your absolute favorite video to produce and have released that we've done so far?
Yeah, that we've done. It's probably the Culveyhouse's Best Moments, Part 1.
Yeah, I like that one.
And it's only because I have like 3,500 videos to draw material from, and it's like, why just bury those and leave them forever forgotten, like an island of misfit videos or something? Why not pull them out and show some best moments?
Culvey Claus.
Yeah, right.
Culvey Claus comes and takes all the video clips that nobody seemed to have wanted. They'll make somebody happy.
Yeah,
if you guys don't understand that reference, you had a good childhood. If you do understand that reference, your childhood probably eventually spiraled out of control.
We're referencing a Christmas special.
We're not going to tell you what.
Yeah, so that's why, because there are I don't know how many thousands of hours of total content on my channel, but it's a lot. I've done many streams. I think about 800 of those videos are all like 3 hours.
And we went through the streams too. To talk or to find funny moments.
Yeah. Like, so what was
thousands of more, by the way.
What was your favorite?
I think funny moments kind of comes in second. The last Minecraft video that we did is another really close one, because that's one of my most advanced edits to date, and it was just because I had more time to do it. It was so fun. But if I had to pick one, I really, really liked doing the Culveyhouse retrospective.
Oh, the retrospective.
Because that's it just felt, it was the first time where I felt like I actually was producing a Culveyhouse video. Like, it, you know, like even with the music style, everything just felt like it belonged on the channel. Not to say that anything else we've done belongs on the channel because we're expanding. It felt like I was producing a video for the channel. Even
the intro text, right? The intro text kind of looked like something I would do, and then the way that it worked, we kind of split that video into two narrations. I narrated the first half, everything that I had done in 2020 up until you joined me, and then you narrated what we did, you know, each video that we did. To that point, which I
that took so many takes because I kept going way over my limit because I had like I think a 2-minute limit, and I was like. I had to like talk like a guy at what are those things? An auction, an auctioneer. I had to talk like an auctioneer. We did this Minecraft video, and then we did the fitness video, and then it was great. It was great.
Well, that's our production pipeline. You know, that's our style. But we have a friend we'd like to bring on board and find out her style. She's got a style all her own, and it's pretty new because she just started streaming. Her name is Snufflumpagus, and she's joining us in just a moment.
Alright, so ignore the facts that we're all wearing different clothes at this point. We are now bringing... It's
How did that happen? What'd you do, like change like in the blink of an eye?
I did. I snapped my fingers and poof! Now I'm a fresh dude. Anyhow, we would like to bring on the show a brand new Twitch affiliate, one of our friends, Miss Snufflumpagus. How's it going, Snuffles?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah, there's her voice. She has one. You might see her in chat as you're watching this right now. You might see her in the comments.
Yeah. Or you might have just been watching her on her Twitch channel. She just ended a stream a little while ago.
Yeah, I've been streaming late into the night. I probably shouldn't do that, but you know.
Oh, it's not late until it's 4 o'clock in the morning. That's late.
I've done
that.
Till
4 o'clock in the morning. It's awesome. It's awesome. And then I sleep till 6. Have a cup of coffee. Boom. Good for the day.
So, we have a couple of questions for you, and it's actually about your Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So, you heard what Sean just said. She's now an affiliate on Twitch, and we wanted to ask you about the trials and tribulation, or shall I say twiles and tribulations of starting a new content channel, because it is fairly new. I mean, for all intents, it's a new channel, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much new. I did dabble a little bit in 2013, but ever since I would ever had internet that I could get on by myself, I had really terrible internet. I had DSL, so I couldn't stream. So it was just dependent on if I was at someone else's house.
But now
Now I have gigabit fiber internet, and I'm basically streaming every day.
Which is awesome. Wow. You should check it out. I haven't seen a single one yet, but I'm gonna.
Which, and her internet is over 100 times as fast as mine at the moment because of where I am.
Yeah, and I actually made it so that my even my Wi-Fi is 500 megs.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Holy shit.
And that's hard to pull off. And do you actually stream on Wi-Fi?
No, I stream hardwired.
Oh, okay, hardwired.
Yeah.
What was your what was the experience like getting fully partnered as an affiliate? When you first got the invite, was it a painful process, or how many days did it take?
I think it took about 2 days for it to go through. Like maybe 2.5 days. The painful part of it was waiting, because I went bang, bang, boom right through the process, and I got stuck at the whole tax thing. And they make you wait for them to look over your tax forms, make sure you actually live in the United States or live where you're supposed to be living. And just so when you do get paid, that you can actually tell the government, hey, I was getting paid this year.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that, actually. It's been a while. That's why I thought I would ask. I think it was only 2 days for me. And then eventually we'll help Mr. Sean here get affiliated.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna
really?
get you. We're gonna get you
Oh.
affiliated.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've like
Yeah.
streamed on Twitch once.
Yeah, I figured you did. Now, so here's another, or actually, it's time for Sean to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually curious because a lot of people we talked earlier on here about like how we started off with our own channels and social media. What made you want to start on Twitch?
Well, I guess we'd have to go way back. When I first joined YouTube, Culvey's was actually the channel that I found when I first joined YouTube. And he was
nice.
actually the reason why I joined, because I wanted to subscribe.
That's great. That's great.
And like, he's one of the people that inspired me to want to do content creation and stuff. And then, fast forward 2020, I'm streaming, and it's mainly the jumping off point was because Culvey inspired me back in 2011.
Wow, that's actually awesome. I did not know that. That's super cool.
And then the fiber enabled
Yep.
you too.
The fiber enabled
So-
me. The thing that was holding me back for the longest time was that I had a download speed of 1.5 megs per second,
Yeah.
and I had an
Yeah,
upload
which-
of 896 kilobits per second.
Which is simply inadequate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a minimum of like 8 to 10
Yeah.
to do anything meaningful on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
That's-
think
I don't
they
even have that.
they recommend like 5, but honestly it should be like 8 or
No,
10.
you need more
Yeah.
than that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to plug your channel in too. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to subscribe to Snufflumpagus, there's her channel. It's twitch.tv/Snufflumpagus.
And it's right there.
It's pretty easy.
You
Actually.
see it. You see it right there.
It's easy to mispronounce, but hey, just be lucky her name isn't Snufflepluskrankengescheidmeier.
That's true.
It's almost like Mr. Snuffleupagus.
That's what I actually got it
there's-
from.
Yeah, but there's an M in there.
Yeah.
To boot.
Which, if you try to look up my channel on YouTube, it frequently puts, "Did you mean Mr. Snufflumpagus?"
Yeah. Did you?
I always thought that your channel was Snufflumpagus, not Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is supposed to be Snufflumpagus. I changed
Yeah,
the letters just so it's slightly off.
Wouldn't it be great if I actually have no idea who this Mr. Snuffleumpagus is, but wouldn't it be great if you surpassed him on social media and usurped his name?
Someday. But isn't it isn't he a Sesame Street character?
Yeah.
Or was he
Sesame Street.
Yeah, okay,
It's the
Sesame
it's
Street.
the big
That's
woolly
right.
mammoth.
Yeah, it's friends with Big Bird.
Yes.
Yeah, so is he like imaginary? Like, I've never been able to wrap my brain around that. Is he imaginary or?
I think he is supposed to be imaginary.
But people talk to him. Like, I've seen Gordon talk to him.
mean,
it just confuses me. It
maybe
confuses me.
maybe that's how imaginary friends work on Sesame Street. Maybe it's a whole different world.
Yeah. You know what you should do maybe one day is try your hand at puppeteering, and you have instead of a face cam, you've got that puppet, just like that one guy I showed you before.
Yeah, or like
Culveyhouse.
in the lower part of the screen.
or like Arlo.
Culveyhouse.
There's a YouTuber named Arlo that looks a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
like Cookie Monster.
He's also a puppeteer.
Yeah.
The whole streamer looks like a Cookie Monster.
Yeah, it's blue and it
Oh,
does
dear
look like
God.
Cookie Monster.
What in the hell? That's actually a cool gimmick, though. But it would get old after a while.
But-
it's fun. It's funny to watch. But
I'd have
For
to
like
hire
5
someone to be a
minutes.
puppeteer then, because I can't game
No.
and be a puppeteer at the same time.
But this guy, you know how he did it? He had the puppet in one hand, and then he had this joystick that happened to have a keyboard embedded in the joystick. That's how he did it. Like, he could game and do everything.
That's a mad
PC
skill.
gaming with one hand. That's pretty impressive.
That's
See,
a
I'm-
mad skill.
I'm not
Yeah.
that I can't coordinate my limbs that well. I can barely play guitar.
Same here.
Oh yeah, that's the last question you could ask her. Oh
Yeah.
ask her.
Yeah. Tell you play guitar, right, or bass at the very
Yes.
least.
Yeah.
I dabble a little bit. Mostly right now it's rocksmith and trying to learn online, doing online lessons.
Yeah.
sweet.
That's really awesome. I would
Yeah,
say definitely keep it that.
I've been slacking a little bit because I've been trying to clean the mess that is my life in my room. Right now, the only
Oh yeah.
the
I feel
only
that.
the only solace I have in my room, like the only peace I have, is my desk, because that's mostly clean. I have my
Yeah.
space and it's good. I know
One
where
less-
everything is.
One last question. You two are a maggot, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nobody
Yes.
else. Like, if you guys know what that means.
Well, we're going to give it away anyway. So Snufflumpagus also has a Discord channel. So we'll leave that link in the description of this podcast.
Yes. And by the
Alright.
time this is out, it should be open to the public. I've been slowly opening it up to people.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Oh, wise.
That is awesome. I will be joining that.
Yeah.
Well, that was our good friend, Snufflumpagus. She'll probably show up again very soon.
I hope so.
That'd be
So
cool.
this is not the end of her. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, and
Oh.
if I had to give any tip to people that are starting, definitely try to network with people. The only reason why I've gotten where I was, I've got where I was on Twitch, is because of the network of people that I know.
Right,
Like, I wouldn't
of course.
have gotten sub-bombed so many times if I didn't know a person that was so generous enough to gift, like, 63 subscriptions on my channel. Like,
Nice. Yeah. You had over 50 that one night.
yeah, and
Wow.
it's just, you meet people at just the right time, and they kind of push you to be your best.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
awesome.
And that's what happens on Twitch more than any
Yeah.
other social media.
It's definitely easier on Twitch than it is on YouTube, because YouTube, it's not a lot of people even know or care that people stream on YouTube.
Whereas Twitch, that's like their
It's
main
true.
gig.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And then the side thing is videos. They do videos, and not many people know that.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I hope to be on again soon.
All right, so something else we wanted to talk about is our experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic. And most of you are going to watch this right in the middle of the pandemic, but if this is a historical video and you happen to be watching it in 2050, yeah, we actually had a pandemic in 2020.
Yeah.
So we're going to mention like how we got through it, and like how it affected our YouTube channels. So
Yeah.
So, back in March, I was in California. I was in Silicon Valley, finishing up interviewing, and then I got a job offer, 2 job offers, and then I picked the one here in Texas. So I flew out here. That was right when everything was starting to blow up. And then the travel ban started literally a week after I got here. Not even a week after I got here.
I think it was like the day after.
It could.
It
Oh
started.
yeah, actually, it was shocking how I just barely escaped with my life
Right.
from
right.
California. But then Texas is a hot spot. Is a real. We've got some real issues with
Yeah.
with the pandemic.
Well,
here.
generally, and I don't mean to get super political here, but generally the Republican-run states, as much as they like to talk about how horrible the Democrats' handling is, the Republican-run states generally have the shittier responses to COVID.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said
Well,
it. I said
well, and I've noticed it in this. Not so much in this city though. It's a very liberal city.
Yeah.
Now this hotel, and I don't really notice it too much in this hotel. So I'm still in a hotel. That's why it looks like a hotel behind me. They take every precaution because it comes from corporate. We have to walk around with masks. We get a disinfecting squad that comes through every single day to disinfect my room with all these chemicals. So it's, and then now they are serving food, but we cannot self-serve. We can't even self-serve coffee. They have to put on gloves. They have to, they have to have disposable cups. We can't bring our cups down. They have to do everything. How many pumps of creamer do you want? You know, that kind of thing. So
Right.
that's my experience with COVID here. And then
Yeah.
you're in California. What's your experience? And you're with a big family too.
Yeah, I got a huge family. It's
Uh-huh.
giant. It's bigger than your family. It's bigger than everybody's family. It's bit like literally. But no, excuse me. My dad is very adamant about everybody in my family, including me, social distancing, and I'm the same way. So we have all been completely pretty much social distance, except for a couple, the times we need to go to the store to grab some
Right.
stuff.
So the socializing is pretty much all family socializing, right? Besides the online stuff, your online.
Right,
chat.
right. Yeah, it's very, very much, very close quarters with everybody. Like I haven't gone out and played football in God knows how long.
But you do. I mean, you have been playing football even during the pandemic, right?
Yeah, with like my family.
Yeah,
though.
just
like,
your family.
None of my friends,
Yeah.
who I normally play football with.
Mhm.
It sucks because I can't throw to anybody because like they're all my younger siblings and only one of them can catch.
Oh,
So
right.
it's like, that's great.
I know what that feels like. I can't catch worth a damn because of my eye condition.
Yeah. Well, we're a very athletic family. They're all just really little.
Mm. So,
like
and then you also get your groceries delivered, like family, like big family packs of food. Yeah.
Oh no, our family's too big for the family packs. Are designed for like a family of 4.
Uh-huh.
we get we double up on everything at Costco.
And you're a family of 11.
Yeah.
That doesn't include the
3
pets.
dogs and
Yeah.
a cat. Plus 3 dogs and a cat.
Plus an oversized dog, and
He's big. He's a big dog. Yeah.
Do you and then you don't work out like I do. So I work out here in Denton. I belong to 3 gyms, but again, it's always gloves, mask, and we wipe everything down after every set, especially the corporate run gyms. But then you don't have to worry about that because you've got a home gym, right?
Calling it a home gym is a bit of a perversion to
it
actual
is.
home gyms. I got a bench and a barbell with 300 pounds and a couple dumbbells. It works great. It's fine.
And
it's all
you
that I
didn't
need.
do that in response to COVID-19. You had that before it even happened.
Yeah. Well, no, it was happening in China because I got it for Christmas. It was
Right.
happening in China. So
It
those
was
cases
happening.
in China started happening in
Almost like-
October.
Somebody had a premonition. Santa Claus had a premonition.
Yeah, Santa's real, kids.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what that dickhead Billy at school told you. Santa is real.
So but COVID-19, the pandemic, it actually didn't stop us from co-producing. In fact,
No.
we weren't even co-producing. We came together. We made that decision. We started our work together after the pandemic was already in full swing. So
Right.
you might even say, what do you think? Do you think it may have been one of the factors or like one of the catalysts?
No, that notion is happenstance. But I mean, it happened during the pandemic for sure.
But it
Because
happened
was in
mainly
March.
because I was getting really busy with work. I just started a new
Right,
job. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And
COVID or not, it probably still would have happened.
yeah. Why don't we talk about something that happened very recently? It didn't happen in just the last few days, but it was the last few weeks. Microsoft acquiring ZeniMax Media, and hence Bethesda Game Studios and
Right.
Bethesda Softworks. Actually, it acquired everything. id Studios, Arcane Studios, everything that was under the ZeniMax umbrella.
At this point, I'm just waiting for a Elder Scrolls Halo crossover, or better yet, a Fallout Halo crossover.
Or Micro Scrolls. Micro Scrolls in space.
Like pretty soon, you're gonna be able to have like Master Chief armor in Skyrim. They're gonna make like Skyrim as an Xbox exclusive now because they're still milking that cow.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. They're still fucking milking that cow.
They are, yeah. Well, one of the questions that usually comes up is, wow, it's a shock. I didn't see this coming. I should have been able to predict this, but I really didn't see it coming. It's possible it's because the overall value of the private companies, ZeniMax Media, they may have diluted themselves quite a bit, or the value could have eroded. So they
because it was like what, 8.1 billion.
Well, that's what Microsoft paid for it, so that's what they're worth. Remember, you're only worth what someone will pay for you. So, okay, they paid.
I'm shocked that it was so little. Like
yeah,
8.1
billion. Because my company, before when I got laid off, they bought my company, which is essentially a software museum. Software museum for $19 billion, and no one's ever heard of my company, CA Technologies. Unless you live in Santa Clara in Silicon Valley, you've never heard of them. And,
Pete Hines probably used the entirety of Bethesda's budget to go on his emotional Twitter raids and tangents about Elder Scrolls Blades. But
yeah, Elder Scrolls Blades, yeah, and there were a lot of tangents that cost them a lot of money. Yeah. That didn't really help.
I actually might not be far off.
That didn't help the brand at all, but really helped them dig themselves a hole. So, so why do big companies gobble other big companies like this? Well, sometimes it's to eliminate competition, but sometimes it's for synergy. Like Microsoft, company A sees that Bethesda or ZeniMax, company B, has strengths that they don't have, and then this company has needs some like a cash infusion, or they're looking for strengths that Microsoft has. See, so that's what synergy is. So then you merge, but it's not always a perfect merge like that. There's no such thing as perfect symmetry, not symmetry, synergy, and so sometimes big companies gobble up other companies to kind of afford a monopoly of sorts, or an oligopoly. And what is the oligopoly? It's Microsoft and Sony in the console gaming world, and Nintendo, but it's to beat out the competition and move towards a monopoly. And Microsoft has already gotten dinged for that before.
Yeah, with computer, they actually technically, because of that monopoly, saved Apple.
Yeah, well, there was an antitrust. There was a whole series of antitrust lawsuits.
Yeah. Microsoft today, I think, still is responsible for something like 90% of computers that are bought.
Yeah,
and
it's
sold.
still the leading OS. Yeah.
Right.
I mean the suite of OSs.
Right, by a very significant margin.
Do you follow the stock market at all?
I try to, but right now I just know that it's bad.
Well, it is. Well, and it's actually not as bad as all that. Now, what did this? The first thing I had to do is look and see what this did to Microsoft's stock, and it really didn't do much. It actually Microsoft dropped for like the 2 days after they acquired ZeniMax, but it probably had very little, if anything, to do with this acquisition, because it was only $8 billion or so. It's anywhere between 7.5 to 8.5 billion. It's always a little bit more than what is publicly declared. So that's why I guess it's 8.5 billion. But it dropped maybe for 2 days, but it's not a big deal. And then ZeniMax didn't have a stock. They were a private company. So it doesn't really, unless the acquisitions are massive, like these big telecom mergers, it doesn't really affect the stock too much.
Yeah, I wonder. My question is because I'm actually not entirely sure. What is going to happen to Hod Toward and Tweet Hines?
Who knows? They'll probably leave the company, because a lot of the leadership becomes superfluous, and they're just not needed anymore. One of the first things to go is the CEO. You can't have two CEOs. You could have the CEO could become a executive director of the division, which is now the company, but that's kind of like a blow. It's a step down to them, so they want to move on and be a CEO somewhere else. That's usually what happens. Well, so that's that, and we just wanted to mention something about that because it's that's a current event besides COVID, which everyone's sick of talking about COVID. But Microsoft
And
the Bethesda
Go ahead.
acquisition is fresh in our heads. That's why we thought we'd bring it up.
not only that, it is a fantastic segue into our next thing, which is talking about future content that's going to be produced on this channel. Teasing a little bit, if you will.
Yeah,
We're
we
being
might
a
even
little
tease a
teases.
few
We're
things.
we're providing you the equivalent of content nip slips on Twitch.
Sort of. I can't go. Well, that's an idea. Yeah, so that's one of the last things we'll do in the podcast. We'll tease a couple things that are coming up. So this is essentially the coming attractions segment. So
Yeah.
remember, we've got a variety show. What are some of the formats that we've introduced?
Well, we've introduced more fitness content. I say more. We've never done that before on the channel. He never did. Like there's fitness content. We did one educational video. We did a game review. And we did all this new stuff that we've never done before. We got Minecraft, which he swore he'd never play.
Yeah, multiplayer Minecraft. Yeah,
I held a gun to his head and told him that he has to. So
we did the best moments. We're going back and pulling bits from my videos. We did the retrospective. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we got me. This was your idea too. Me reacting to my old videos with a face cam. So that's a new format. And then this is a new format. We have a bunch of other stuff coming in down the pipe. Do you want to tease the first one?
Yeah, well, I will say this. First of all, we do definitely got more fitness content coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
it
is coming.
We got more fitness stuff coming. Some of it's going to be really good. In fact, you can see a little preview of it in the background in Culvey's background. But you're never going to guess what it is. But the video is basically there.
We have at least I'd say we have at least 8 ideas on our Jamboard for fitness content.
Right. We're gonna do some. I'm not gonna say what we're gonna do. You guys have to wait. It's like it's the content equivalent of a near nip slip.
And
we're showing the
speaking
cleavage of the content.
Yeah, actually, Sean's going to be in some of the videos, the fitness videos.
Yeah.
And then we're also. Why don't we tease a new series? Something in the vein of what I've done before on my channel. Many years ago, I did this 3-part series called Fallout 4 No Bowl series. And No Bowl, which is trying to make sense of all the news and early news and leaks about a game that's coming out. Well, I want to do a Starfield No Bowl series where I try to make sense of all the leaks and the rumors, the false rumors, all the nonsense, and viable leaks of what Bethesda is doing with that new game that they're producing, which is Starfield.
Yeah.
And then
it's not necessarily the only one that we have in mind, though.
Oh yeah, there actually is one other No Bowl series. What is it?
We're not going to tell you though.
But you can guess what it is. You can guess what it is.
Secret.
Well, what comes after Starfield? Okay, and we're not gonna mention that, but now you can.
We're not permitted to say anything else according to our agents and lawyers.
Oh
so.
yeah, sure. And what is you want to tease one more thing?
Oh yeah. So this channel has an over decade-long history. Why not document it? History of Culveyhouse coming to you at some point.
The history of the Culveyhouse Channel, maybe it might even be. We don't even know what it'll be called yet. We could call it the brief history of the Culveyhouse Channel.
Yeah.
But in multiple episodes, it's not just going to be one big video dump that doesn't flush. We'll have.
I do see how we could do it in one big video dump, but
no.
No.
That would be a train wreck. Yeah, you notice, which is a good point. You notice how almost all of our videos are right around average. On the average, it's about 11 minutes.
Yeah. We try and make sure that it's at least 10 minutes, and try not to go over 12. That way we can have the monetization and also keep people's attention as much as possible and not go overboard with like a 20-minute long video about a boot or something stupid.
Well, those
were
were the coming attractions. We'll probably do a coming attractions segment every podcast.
Yeah. Eventually it's just going to become satirical in nature. It's going to be great.
Well, that pretty much does it for this podcast. We know that the first one was awkward. It's always going to be. The first version of anything is going to be awkward, right?
Like we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. And the podcasts themselves, I think we're going to change the format a little bit each time too. And the content itself, we're going to have a variety show in the podcast too. So we'll do something different every time. What if you had to take a guess, what do you think the next podcast will be like?
Well, considering that we both are very into music and we're both technically musicians, we could have a podcast talking about a lot of music. I mean, I do have 3 beautiful musical instruments right here.
Yeah, he happens to be teasing something that might appear in the next podcast.
It's foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. It's foreshadowing.
I'd be totally for that. I may or may not be foreshadowing something behind me too.
I know. We already talked about that. They'll never guess what it is.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be one person in the comments though that's like, he's going to do a video on water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there is water back there. Well, that is important. The importance of hydration. That could be a whole podcast.
Maybe like a segment of the podcast, very, very briefly. Like that would bore the piss out of people. Pun intended.
But I do remind you a lot to hydrate, don't I? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do, and I generally stay hydrated.
Well, I should have Nightbot remind everybody in my streams or in...
If you don't stay hydrated, you will be forced to unsubscribe.
Yeah, in fact, I think, is it Grovana has Hydrobot? I think he has a Hydrobot. Oh no, really? Ben Rice, the deadlifter, the power lifter on Twitch, he has a Hydrobot that reminds him to stay hydrated. Yeah.
Though I think Grovana is into fitness too, is he not?
Yeah, he's now getting into fitness,
Yeah, he's, I've watched him for years. He's gone on and off of being, like, really seriously into fitness and then not as into it and then goes back and just, like, he becomes a beast for a while. He's super cool. Always likes that dude.
And that's probably going to be a topic, if not the next podcast, the one afterward is fitness. Now we have to really get, ramp up the fitness stuff. So, okay, but anyway, for right now, that's it. So if you like the podcast, or if you like any of my videos that have ever appeared on my channel, don't leave me. Subscribe. Click the red subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and even more importantly, click that bell. There's a notification bell right next to it, and that way you'll get notified whenever I upload something new, or if we do a premiere, right? And then we also have a tip jar in the description. Whenever you tip in Streamlabs, half of it goes to this dude, and the other half goes to this dude.
It goes to 2 dudes, half and half.
And also in the description, SeanTheGoneOne, like we said, he has a channel, and his link is in the description. So click that and do everything I just said, but do it to his
Except
channel
with
too.
me.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry much about the bell. Like, turn the bell on. I promise it's not spammy. I upload like once a year at this stage.
Well, we'll change that.
We will. I by the time this is up, I probably already have a video up. So, you'll know it if you see it, guys. All right.
This is Culvey's and Sean signing off.
Deuces, motherfuckers. See ya, sluts.